Hey guys, so in today's video, I'm going to be working on a gypsy leopard. This was actually ordered from a customer, so I'm going to take you through the steps, but if you want to see the original tutorial by Jessica Flynn, then I'll have that link down below in the description as well. So first thing we're getting started with is mixing up our resin. Of course, you need equal parts of A and B. I'm using Counterculture's Artist Resin. And you can see here that I have about 5 mLs mixed up of both sides. We're going to go ahead and mix that up really well and then apply that onto the tumbler to use this as our glitter adhesive. Now, I didn't record me actually prepping the base of the tumbler with the spray paint, so if you want to see how that's done, then let me know, or you can just go back and watch the original tutorial by Jessica Flynn to see how she preps the base of her tumbler. That's pretty much the same thing I did. First glitter color we're going to be using is called Sassy, and then we're also going to be using Treasure for the gold part. This one is called Freddy, and then we're going to be using Turquoise Dreams, Chunky Jade, and Amazonite from our gemstone collection. So first I'm going to be sprinkling Sassy all over the gold portion of the swirl. So you can see that I'm just kind of lightly scattering Sassy all around and leaving space for us to layer on top the treasure. Sassy is a custom mix blend that we have in our shop, Sugar and Spice. You can go ahead and check that out. There will be a link down below, or you can go and check it out by going to www.sugarandspiceglitter.com. Once I've laid down Sassy, I'm going to go in with Treasure, which is an extra fine, more metallic gold. And I'm going to sprinkle that on top of Sassy. I'm just going to lightly spread that all around. I'm not going in too heavy just yet. So once I'm happy with how the gold is laid down, we're going to go in with Freddy. That's the purple color. I'm going to go ahead and just sprinkle that. I didn't have a purple chunky that I wanted to use for this part, so we're just going to go in with the fine glitter and sprinkle that in those areas that we've already prepped the tumbler purple. You can see that I kind of just lightly scattered that around. Now we're going to go in with our chunky colors for the bluish green color. So I'm getting started with Jade Chunky. I'm literally just sprinkling down some of that color. After we go in with the Jade Chunky, we're going to go in with Amazonite, and then I'm going to go and layer Turquoise Dreams on top. So once we're done laying down those colors, this is what the tumbler should look like right now. At this part, I'm going to go in and start blending in all those colors together. So I'm going to pick up Sassy, which is that chunky gold that we used in the beginning. And I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle that again over the gold part, but also try and blend it in with the purple and the turquoise colors as well. So you can see I'm trying to layer that color in between to kind of give it a little bit more of a blend. And I just love Sassy. It's so pretty. I just love the color and the blend, and there's so many different sizes. There's also opal in there. It's super pretty. So once I'm satisfied with how the tumbler looks, I'm gonna just stop adding my glitter. Then I'm gonna grab that paper underneath the tumbler and use that to kind of fill in the spaces from the bottom. So if you guys noticed, I didn't put any glitter on the bottom. So I'm gonna pick up that sheet where all the colors fell together, and I'm just gonna sprinkle that onto the bottom of my tumbler. I usually like to do this when I'm working with swirls or cups that have different colors in them. I'll take all the fall off and then add that to the bottom of my tumbler. Okay, so once I got that on the base of the tumbler, on the bottom of my tumbler, taking a look back at the video, I decided that I wanted to go in with some more of the purple, so I'm going to go ahead and take that Freddy and sprinkle that again, just to give it a little bit more blend. I guess I felt like it needed some more. And now I want to talk to you guys about what the next step is. So at this part, when you're completely done, you do want to go in and seal it up with a spray sealer or some sort of quick coat. Now at this part, I kind of jumped the gun. I don't know what I was thinking, but I put it on the turner and I sealed it with resin. So I added one layer of resin before doing my spots. Ideally, you want to do your spots before adding any resin, but if you're like me and you're in a rush or you rush yourself, you made a mistake to do the resin, this is what I do next. So it doesn't take away from the look of the tumbler. I feel like it just you may need some more extra layers of resin to get a smooth finish if you don't do your spots directly over the glitter like once you've sealed it. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with hot cocoa and Reaper to create my leopard spots. I'm going to be using Mod Podge. It's a dishwasher safe one. It's the one I like to use the most. I'm going to put a little bit of that Mod Podge into a medicine cup, and then I'm going to use a regular paintbrush to paint on my spots with the Mod Podge and to help apply that glitter. If you have a hard time with painting on your leopard spots, one quick note or one word of advice is to Google some images, see what they look like, how they're shaped, and then use that as a guide to put your own down on your cup. I like to make different shapes of spots, so some of them will look more almond, some of them will look more round, some of them will be shaped kind of like a cashew. And so what I'm doing right now is just putting the base of Mod Podge down so that I can go ahead and apply the brown glitter, the hot cocoa. Once I've applied the brown glitter all over these spots of Mod Podge, and then I'm going to go in again with my paintbrush and outline these spots so that I can apply the black border around the spots. That's kind of what's going to tie in everything together, and you'll see that here as I apply the glitter, how it all comes together. Now that we're done with our Mod Podge spots, I'm going to go and take that hot cocoa and sprinkle that all around, and then we'll get started with the black lines. You want to shake off all that excess glitter, and then you may want to go in with a little paintbrush after that's dried to clean off any excess glitter that may be sticking to any outside areas of the spot. So you may see that there's a little bit of brown colors on the gold. I'm going to take a small little paintbrush, dried paintbrush that I didn't use for the Mod Podge, and brush those areas off. So now I'm going to go in with that same brush that I used to apply the Mod Podge initially. I'm going to use that same brush with some more Mod Podge and just outline the spots of where I want that black glitter color to be. Again, if you need to, you can look at an image on Google, on your phone, or whatever that you have available to kind of see what leopard spots look like so that you know where you should put down your Mod Podge and apply the black glitter. Once I've laid down my Mod Podge, I'm going to go in with the black glitter and evenly sprinkle that all over where I have the Mod Podge. I'm going to end up speeding up this part, but I do want to show you all the way through so that you can see how I lay down my spots entirely and what it looks like at the end. So if you want to skip forward to the next part, you definitely can. If you want to just continue to watch this this little spot here where I finish up my spots, then keep on watching. Okay, so once I've applied all of my spots, I let that Mod Podge fully dry. I go in and I spray it with a Krylon clear sealer just to make sure that the glitter doesn't stray or move anywhere when I apply my top coat of resin. I do go in with the top coat of resin after that is completely dry, and I like to put about 20 ml over the spots and the entire tumbler. After that first layer of resin has fully cured over the spots, we're going to go ahead and apply a second coat of resin, and this is where we're going to also apply the lines of color, the gold, the purple, and a really pretty turquoise blue color as well. So for this next step, I'm going to be mixing up about 25 ml of resin. I'm going to be using about 8 ml, and I'm going to apply that all over the entire base of the tumbler. Once I've done that, I'm going to separate what's left in the medicine cup. I'm going to use 3 different medicine cups and separate the rest of the resin. I'm going to mix up one of the cups with a gold mica powder. I'm going to mix up the second cup with a purple acrylic paint, and then the third cup is going to have a turquoisey blue acrylic paint mixed into it. Right now I'm just showing you how I mix up the resin, and I use Counterculture Artist resin for this part. You don't want to go in with fast set because it will cure too fast for what you want, so you do want to use a regular set resin for this part. So the acrylic paint we're using is Apple Barrel, and the color is Caribbean Blue. I'm going to take just a small little drop of this Caribbean Blue and put that into the resin and mix that up. The next color is called Lilac Mist, and again it is the Apple Barrel paint, and I'm going to take a small drop of that and apply that to the second medicine cup. Lastly, I'm going to take this really pretty golden mica powder, and I'm going to take a couple of scoops of that and put that into the third medicine cup and mix that up really well. The first color I'm going to use is this gold mica powder, and I'm just going to take my popsicle stick and string it alongside the back portion of the tumbler. I try not to cover too much of the leopard spots. However, if you noticed, I kind of maybe slightly cover some of them just to give it more of a natural feel, and I kind of like the look of the leopard spots peeking behind the gold mica powder. So you can see here how I'm kind of stringing it across with my popsicle stick. I'm kind of dragging it through the resin as opposed to just letting it glop down onto the resin. Once I've applied enough of the gold mica powder wherever I want it, I do use my fingers to kind of spread that out a little bit more. Next color I'm going to be going in with is the purple color. In this one, I'm really just going to be using a small bit of it. I'm not going to be using a lot of it at all. This is just going to help tie in the glitter colors and everything we got going on with the tumbler. So you can see it's just a really small amount of the purple that I'm going to be going in with. Then we'll be moving on to the Caribbean blue color. Here's where I'm applying that Caribbean blue color. I just love it, and I think it looks so pretty along the other colors that we have here. Just kind of ties everything in together. And again, I'm just taking my little mixing stick and dragging that through the resin. So I decided I needed a little bit more of that purple and a little bit more of that gold, so I'm going to add some more of that. Again, this part right here is just preference, and you can make it have as little or as much mica powder or acrylic paint that you like. Once I'm done with all of that and I'm happy with how it looks, I take my gloved finger and I kind of just move that along and spread it out. You definitely do not have to do this part. I personally like the way it looks when I use my fingers to spread out the colors. However, you can leave it stringed on just the way it was and kind of let it do its own thing. But I like the way it looks when I spread it out with my fingers. Totally preference and totally up to you if you want to do this part or not. Once you're done with this part, that's pretty much it. You just want to go ahead and let this whole layer of resin cure. And then I ended up going in with 2 more layers of resin to complete this entire tumbler. Now, for this particular customer, she didn't want anything added to it. She didn't want to name a quote or anything like that. It's just the tumbler itself with the design. So once you finish it off with 1 to 2 coats of resin, you're pretty much ready to go. And now you're gonna see what the final tumbler looked like. I'm so happy with it and I love how it turned out. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up for me. Also, if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so that you can be alerted every time we upload a brand new video. If you guys want to get social with me, then check out the description down below where you can find links to my Facebook group, Instagram, TikTok, and more. I hope you guys really enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.